There. Good evening, or mid-afternoon, everyone. My name is Michael Afton, and today I'll be giving you a very objective and very true timeline of the events that follow. However, before we begin, I'd like to say some important things. Number one, there will be talk of child murder. This is also Five Nights at Freddy's, so that's to be expected. Number two, this panel is going to be gayer than a 13-year-old girl who just discovered an archive of her own for the first time. And STL. Me too. And also, this is going to be a very serious timeline. So you should take it as seriously as you should take anything written by Scott Cawthon, which is not at all. The man wrote Matt Pat and Craig, don't take it seriously. Now, without further ado, I'd like to begin at the beginning. And our story begins with a monster who lurks in the dark, and in the dark, unsavory places where no one would expect them to be a murderer, one might say. And that person is Vlad from the Immortal and the Restless series. My Immortal, that's a different thing. That's a different vampire. For those of you who don't know, The Immortal and the Restless is actually a very good soap opera that I happen to like. We've got Vlad over there with his smiley, fanny self, his girlfriend Clara, and then they have a baby, for those of you who don't know. It happens at the end of every night of Fnaf's sister location. And the main crux and issue of the series is that Vlad doesn't want to take responsibility for his baby and says that that baby cannot be his, despite the baby hanging upside down from the ceiling and also turning his milk into powder. The interesting thing about Vlad is there's actually something very interesting about him that you might notice if you just look at him right there. He is a minimum wage worker. So that helps to inform a lot of the issues that he has going forward in this drama. Less importantly, he is also a vampire. And there are some important things we can also learn from the fact that he's a vampire. Number one, all vampires are gay. I don't make the rules. Every single one that you see up there, Dracula, that's just an old queen. There's also one on the very bottom, on the right, experiencing compulsive heterosexuality. Fun fact, he is the only straight vampire to exist, but he also created this. So, sorry, jump scare, but it is Five Nights at Freddy's, so. Should have been expected. So we already have our protagonists. We have Vlad, we have Clara. Again, Vlad is a very absentee father, and his son suffers the consequences of his father not being there. Okay, maybe I'm projecting just a little. All right, fine. You want me to talk about it?
Go.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll talk about it. On a winter in 1939, there's only one winter in 1939 now that I think about it, William Afton was born, and my life has been hell ever since, which is ironic because I wasn't even alive yet. I was actually born in the summer of '69. Nice. To my father, William Dave Old Sport Elias Ezra Vincent, Purple Man, Purple Guy, Man Behind the Slaughter, Zaddy Peepaw Afton III. That's his government name. I also was born to my mother, who had no discernible name because she's a woman written by Scott Cawthon. Which just means that she should have a lot of importance in the series, and then she doesn't. But I'm sure he'd never make that mistake again. Never. There is another important player in this series, which is my father's boyfriend, Henry. Fun fact, we have no pictures of my mother around the old house, but we do have a lot of pictures of Henry. My father did play favorites. One kind of cute detail about the two of them is that no matter how many terrifying bunny personas that my father made, Henry was never far behind. He always had another one to go along with it. It does get a little concerning right in there, but that's all right. The rotting corpses, it's fine. The Fazbear Corporation actually created two really important things that they ended up producing a lot of. One was childhood nostalgia, fueled by pizza fever dreams, and the other was crime scene ready bleach, recommended by 9 out of 10 of your local serial killers. Over the leading brand, actually. But we're not here to talk about that bunny man with a corpse inside of him. No. We're here to talk about me. Because you see, I am the protagonist of all 1 through 6 Fnaf games. There's probably something after that, but I don't know. And as the protagonist, of course, we're going to learn a lot of important things about me. So I compiled an exhaustive list of everything we've learned about myself, Michael Afton. Number 1, I like the Immortal and the Restless. It's kind of obvious based upon the panel. I like butter. Exotic butter specifically. I'm dead. Fun fact, you might not have noticed. You look great. I hate my father, also could have just slipped by you. And I desperately need therapy. I go see that little bear once a week. He doesn't say much, but he's a good listener. Also, I'm a really good brother. You might not know this. I am one of the best brothers. I actually won an award for it. You see, it says Best Brother of the Year. There's some of my friends up there with me to celebrate. It was a very good day. I was very proud of myself. In fairness, it could happen to anyone. It happened okay, all right, listen. You win some, you accidentally sacrifice your baby brother to your stepfather's persona. Happens to everyone. I did get a lot of trauma from this day, mostly because I did have to give my Best Brother of the Year trophy back. I'm not saying that Evan didn't also experience a lot of trauma. He did. One could say that we both lost something that day. Equally tragic. But we're not here to talk about my faults, actually. No. We're here to talk about him. That man. Put a shirt on, my guy. Yeah. Indeed. Thank you. You're a good guy. That's right. Group therapy. I love it. All right. So we'll start with talking about the fact that this man, he had 3 children. 3 of us. And all 3 of us died. Now, I'm no expert on children because I'm a homosexual. And I'm no expert on baseball, but I have to assume raising children is kind of like baseball, meaning 3 strikes, you're out. That man heard 3 strikes, you're out, and just kept running around the bases. 5 dead children here, 5 there. However, I will say, I do think Elizabeth was my father's favorite because she followed his career path. She's also a clown, just like him. Also, she did want to become a murderer as well. She murdered me, actually. Yeah. There's a lot more twists and turns here than Maury. If I had a nickel for every single time one of Will's kids died to another one of Will's kids, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot. But it's really weird that it happened twice, right, Scott? Also, there's Charlie. Charlotte. He did also kill her as well. Believe it or not, killing your boyfriend's daughter is not a healthy start to a relationship. It actually makes things a little bit more complicated, though I don't know why Henry locked her outside. I feel like that's another issue to discuss another day, though. But also, there's a grievance that we're leaving out here, which is the fact that William Afton made 4 dead children wait for over 20 years on a wait list to get into a party that only 5 children were invited to. And they had to wait there for over 20 years because of him. Balloon Boy still hasn't got it. He's just waiting that nobody likes him, poor guy. But this man, who also looks like that, for one, I actually took him to a crematorium recently, and they said it'd be easier to just put him outside in a mild wind and hope that he just sort of dusts away. This man, who if Barney and Prince saw him walking down the street, they'd be like, yo dude, chill, that's a little bit too much purple. This man is who you made your Tumblr sexy man?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That man. Okay, listen. I get it. Every now and again you see a corpse and you're like, kinda hot. I can look past the murder, but I'm right there. You could have chose me. Look, I even got an award for it. Hottest corpse who worked in a pizzeria and is purple. I'd also like to say, in my defense, just like Will, I worked at a pizzeria, and I managed to not kill any children. And I worked minimum wage, so I would argue I had more of a reason to. So, all in all, I would say we learned something very important here from all of this, tying it back to Vlad and my favorite series, which is that immortals don't make good fathers. So if your dad happens to be immortal, I don't know, give him to the fangirls, he's not worth it. Thank you very much. And now I'll take some questions if anyone has any. Also, that's my TikTok if you want to follow me. Questions? Hi Gregory, it's nice to see you.
Hi.
I noticed you slowly picking up the microphone.
I am slowly. Okay, doesn't matter. I am slowly picking up the microphone.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm nothing if not a gentleman.
So, did you learn any life lessons growing up with William?